full production of the awesome play that is based on the 1988 movie, play/movie, and now play again. And I'm talking about the Australian play recently that is touring around the world, including Australia and including me and my girlfriend's hometown of Canberra, ACT, where me and my girlfriend on opening night last night got to meet the cast that was on stage in front of our eyes live at the Canberra Theatre for Steel Magnolias on the 18th of this month, and on the 17th of month it was the preview night of the play. Now, 2 nights of a 2.5 hour show with obviously a 10 to 15, 20 minute interval, where only differences between last night's and the night before is the half an hour difference that it started, or thereabouts. Once the audience got settled in and all the ushers checked everyone's tickets and whatnot. And there was a main reason, which I would do in my review as well, of why we went twice. And it wasn't just because it was an awesome production on preview night, it was also because there was a slight fuck up with not having any money on physical, like a bank card or the phone wallet, and apparently Canberra Theatre didn't take cash, which they used to take, and so I couldn't buy my girlfriend a drink, and I couldn't buy me a drink, and I couldn't buy the program or any merch on preview night, which was a bit of a bummer, whereas on opening night I could, because me and my girlfriend had money on both our physical cards. So she got not only herself the same booklet from the stage version of Steel Magnolias, but she also got like a tote bag, the play program, a mug, and a few other like fridge magnets and stuff that had a few quotes and sayings from not only Shelby but other characters from the stage version of Steel Magnolias. And one of the famous lines, which you know from the movie, when the original Shelby in the Julia Roberts movie is having her diabetic coma, and it's like, drink your juice. That is definitely brought up in the stage version as well. The ending part to the stage version, without too many spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, it's very different. Yes, there's some similarities, like Shelby's mum still gets upset. There's just not a gravestone type of situation. It's done a little bit more tastefully, I find. It's still sad though. They still obviously kill off the character of Shelby. She still gets the treatment and dialysis stuff, even though it obviously sadly went wrong. By the way, if you're expecting any male actors like there was in the original film, don't expect that to happen, because it's an all-female leading cast, but it is still an amazing play, and I will get to the programming in a minute. Steel Magnolias by Robert Harling, who is the original playwright, and apparently the original playwright wrote it based on his sister, apparently so, which I'll do a bit more research on as well. Australian tour 2026, so this year, in Brisbane, Sydney, Wollongong, followed by here in Canberra, Perth, and then lucky last, Melbourne. www.steelmagnoliasplay.com. Follow us at Steel Magnolias Australia, which I did as soon as I got me and my girlfriend the first tickets for the preview night and on opening night. And I will vaguely mention a separate meet and greet in a different video that me and my girlfriend happened to meet because the comedian Bron Lewis was also doing her playhouse tour called Chaos, and we had a meet and greet with her that night, as well as, of course, the cast from Steel Magnolias a few hours later. Once Bron Lewis was finished doing her show at the Playhouse. We eventually met all the cast of Steel Magnolias, except obviously the original character that Deborah Lawrence plays. We unfortunately didn't get to meet her because apparently Deborah Lawrence has gotten sick of late. But you will see her on the Play program and inside the Play program as well, which I don't know if all the prices are different at different parts of the tour. Like, I don't know if the Play program is $25 in, for example, Brisbane, Sydney, Wollongong, Perth, or Melbourne, but the Play program cost me $25 at the Canberra tour, where there was a merch stand, and people behind there were selling merch on card only. Yes, that's why we went again. And we could get merch yesterday. Like I said, my girlfriend got a tote bag and the same Play program. It's funny enough, she said at first she would share, but then changed her mind. So not only that, I will definitely try and do eventually another video where I repeat myself about the Play program, but it will be about not only owning this Play program, which I'll show you in a minute, but about some of the other programs I have from shows of recent. I wish I kept some from like when I was a child years ago, like Billy Elliot the Musical or the Lion King Play program or any of those. But now I'm definitely going to keep Play programs. They're worth having. And yeah, it's got great photos. It's very, very professional. Whereas some amateur theatre plays, you don't really get a lot of professional stuff. Well, you get a bit, but it's not as good as what this Play program is, which I will show you, like I said, in a second. So yeah, I'm about to show you like some of the front cover of what the Steel Magnolias Play program is. Yep, on there is all the casts. So Deborah Lawrence, Jessica Redmayne, who you may know as Harper in Home and Away, Lisa McCune, who you may know from Sea Patrol, Blue Heelers, even the stage version years ago of Guys and Dolls, Belinda Giblin, who you may know as Martha Stewart, Alf Stewart's wife from Home and Away, Mandy Bishop, Lottie Beckett, Deborah Lawrence is on the Play on the front, the one standing near Lisa McCune and Jessica Redmayne. The one with like the pearl, well, actually there's two people with pearl necklaces, so that doesn't really help. The one closer to Jessica Redmayne is Deborah Lawrence. Like I said, unfortunately, she was not in Canberra for this year's tour, even though it did say she was, but she obviously, I don't know what she got of feeling sick. That was sort of kept a little bit confidential. I didn't really go into why Deborah Lawrence was sick, but Lisa McCune did tell me that apparently she did fall sick, which sucks, but I did like the understudy. I think I would have loved Deborah Lawrence's performance a little bit more. Overall, it was still a great play, and yeah, I'm going to show you another photo. There's the one that says written by Robert Harling, American writer and film producer. Yep, there we go. Very good. What else should I show you from the Play program? Of course, Lisa McCune, Belinda Giblin. Actually, I'm going to just go through the whole booklet, really. Deborah Lawrence, once again, who was going to be playing Clarie. Mandy Bishop as Truvy, part of the Truvy hair salon. That would have been if the original Clarie was here, but I'm still glad they kept her in the booklet, and I'll read up about some of stuff about her at some point. Maybe not in this video, but unless I really feel the need to, then maybe. Or I might do a separate video where I read some of the synopsis and the history about like what made Deborah Lawrence famous. Same with Mandy Bishop. Then the next page, of course, the fantastic Jessica Redmayne as Shelby, the character with diabetes that sadly passes away in the stage production version, who is also Harper in Home and Away, like I said earlier. Lottie Beckett as Anil, who I had a meet and greet with as well. She was absolutely amazing. She plays Daryl Hannah's character pretty much. So if you've seen the movie, you'll know that she plays like the quirky but fairly religious type of character in the stage version. Then the understudies for Shelby, Anil, and Truvy. Wow, there's the understudy for those three characters. And I didn't get to meet Madeline Flood, who played Shelby, Anil, and Truvy, though, because obviously the original was available to do the production. I would have been quite disappointed if the whole play's original cast just become a understudy play. I mean, it still would have been a great production, probably. Just I wouldn't have got to meet the legendary Jessica Redmayne, who plays Harper in Home and Away. Jane Fegan, who I definitely met too, was the understudy for Clary. And this is interesting. Apparently, she's also known as the understudy for Malin, Queezer, and Clary. Whereas for the Canberra production she's recently done, she was the understudy for Deborah Lawrence's character, that is, of course, Clary. And there's the understudy page right there with those two understudy actresses. I'm not going to bother showing you like the boring advertisement stuff in the play booklet, or the playbill, whatever you want to call it, but I will show you the awesome photography photos from the production with like Jessica Redmayne, Belinda Giblin, who else is in it? Belinda Giblin, Jessica Redmayne, Mandy Bishop, of course, Lisa McCune, and of course Deborah Lawrence is in the photo here. So the original Clarice just there in the photo as well on that page. Let's turn to the next page, shall we? The next page is all about the productions, well, all productions, but the next page is about Neil Gooding, who is the executive producer, Georgia Poot, who's producer, Alex Woodward, founder and executive producer, Sophia Watkins, producer and general manager, Tom Reagan, production coordinator, Lee Lewis, who is the legendary director behind the play, Simone Romanik, if I'm saying the name right, set and costume designer, Paul Jackson, lighting designer, Brady Watkins, composer and sound designer, Janine Watson, assistant director. Skip all the boring advertisement stuff that's in the book, because there's advertisement stuff in the play booklet as well, like on the Ridges Hotel and all that type of BS. Jennifer White, dialect coach, Jonathan Harrison, production manager, Erin O'Shea, company stage manager. There's Lottie and Mandy Bishop again there's Lottie and Mandy Bishop in the playbook program as well. Sasha Curtis, assistant stage manager, Israeli Lezel, sound operator. Here we go again with Jessica Redmayne and the legendary and lovely Lisa McCune. There we go. Let's see what else. Yeah, skip another boring advertisement part. They're only advertising for like hotels. Well, this one is advertising for, I think another hotel, Q Perth or Queens. No, that's not right. QPAC, Queensland Performing Arts Centre, Canberra Theatre Centre, which is where the recent production was at. Theatre Royale, His Majesty's Theatre in Perth, the Theatre Royale one in Sydney. Like I said, the Illawarra Performing Arts Centre in Illawarra, His Majesty's Theatre in Perth, the Canberra Theatre Centre in me and my girlfriend's hometown of Canberra, Athenaeum Theatre in Melbourne. So pretty much that part was just advertising like every single location that had a whole bunch of performances of Steel Magnolias at. And the last page, Steel Magnolias by Robert Harling, by arrangement with Origin Theatrical on behalf of Samuel French Ltd, a Concord Theatricals company, and all the writing stuff on the back there. Thank you for your accommodation partners with Sofitel, Brisbane Central, Ridges, Australia Square, the Q in Canberra, which is a hotel in me and my girlfriend's hometown, the Q in Perth, and Novotel Melbourne on Collins is advertised as well. And then pretty much what I said earlier on the back part is the Steel Magnolias by Robert Harling Australian tour this year, Brisbane, Sydney, Wollongong, Canberra, Perth, Melbourne, and all that writing there on the back of the play program for Steel Magnolias. So do yourself a solid if you still get to see the last remaining shows, which I think are, today's Friday, so there's tonight, I think it's currently on probably now, Steel Magnolias. No point getting tickets tonight's gig because you'll either get there during the interval or at the end at this rate. Whereas I think there's a production tomorrow afternoon and evening, and I think there's a production tomorrow afternoon for a matinee, and then an evening one, and then I think Sunday just has a matinee, and then it's all over for the tour in Canberra. So grab yourself the Steel Magnolias play book and other merch, and this one for $25 at the Canberra Theatre in me and my girlfriend's hometown. And it's an awesome play. Definitely go see it, and definitely meet the cast after if you can. And if you don't get that opportunity, I hope you still cherish and enjoy the play as a whole anyway. And I will do a separate video at some point of the actual play of Steel Magnolias, and what I thought of the play versus the movie, and about everyone that me and my girlfriend had a photo opportunity meet and greet with, and the star rating of the play, which I rate very, very highly. And I hope they do it all again in the near future, or I also hope that the same cast, if not a different cast, or some similar actors come back to Canberra for another production, whether it's Steel Magnolias or it's something completely different, like it's an original writing or it's another play based off a book or based off a play or a movie, and something else gets done in the near future. And I would love to meet up with Belinda Giblin again, or Jessica Redmayne, Lisa McCune, to name a few of the actresses that we met from the stage version of Steel Magnolias. And for whatever reason, if Deborah Lawrence can come back to Canberra and do another production or something in Australia, I would love to meet her as well. Even if she came and did something at even the Street Theatre, I would even usher volunteer for something there if Deborah Lawrence did a show or something at the Street Theatre in the near future. I'm not saying she will, but if it ever was an opportunity, I would definitely usher for that. And I know my girlfriend would definitely usher for that as well. So there we go. And I hope you've enjoyed this live video about the Steel Magnolias play program. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Actually, I might read a few comments first, which are just weird. And add a Q&A sticker. All right, then. I just thought I'd add a Q&A thing into the live video about the Steel Magnolias playbook, and I asked the question, what's a great play? And I'm just curious what some people's answers could be. My answer would be Steel Magnolias at the moment, or of course Canberra Rep's current production of Travelling North as well. So those are my two answers for what's a great play. I want to know from viewers at home what they think is a great stage show or play or production or whatnot. And yeah, I'll read some of the comments that people wrote prior to putting this Q&A thing up on my live video. Patrick no, I think Erica, whatever that means. Maybe they're just trying to reach out to someone called Erica, maybe. At Fleep Nothing, yeah, for whatever reason. And at Fleep Nothing, again, randomly, a hello. Okay, that's quite interesting. So, yeah, even if you don't respond to this live, maybe just comment on the video once I've uploaded it, and maybe then answer or respond with an answer of what you viewers think at home is a great stage production. And I'm gonna comment back if you do that, and I will mention probably Steel Magnolias or other plays I've heard of or seen in the future, or just your opinions, really. And don't forget to also like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The more views I can get, the better. And have a good evening. Bye for now.